Welcome to the upgrade on the Sister Speak Show. I am your host, Sister Speak, the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through Ayana, but you better call me Sister Speak. Welcome to my first-time listeners, and welcome back to my regular listeners. This is a very precious segment as well as episode, The Upgrade, where we focus on all things wellness for all shades of brown people, aromatherapy, healing, style, hair, skin, nails, mental health awareness, the upgrade, changing your lifestyle, acknowledging that it is time for a new spirit, a clean heart. Tonight's episode, this morning's episode, whatever time you're listening to it, it's for you. And I hope that when you finish listening to this particular episode, that you are encouraged and that you have joy. It is important that we heal. This episode is about identifying and healing from our childhood traumas. And stop running from therapy. Why more brown people are going to therapy and how it is changing their lives. That's what it's about on the Sister Speak Show. That's what it's about on the upgrade. It's about changing your life. It is about impacting. It is about identifying. It is about vibrating high. When it comes to dealing with, and this is definitely rated R for strong language, content, and thought. Let's get into it. And I just want, first of all, before we get into it, let's do it properly. This episode will be sensitive, but you can handle it. This episode will be eye-opening, but you can handle it. This episode is going to empower you, but you can handle it. And you are divinely protected. Let's get into it. Our childhood traumas must be addressed, and we must heal from them. There is no way to escape it. Now, some have escaped it. How so? Because they have not addressed it. They have not identified it. Instead, they have covered it up, masked it. They have put a beard on it, if you will, to try to disguise it. Yet and still, no one can hide from the fact that most of us have experienced a childhood trauma or a set of childhood traumas that have impacted us severely. The great news is that for those who will change, for those who will address, for those who want to do the work, not so severely that it can't be dealt with, that you can't be delivered, that you can't be healed, and that you cannot run on, and that you cannot enjoy life. Your childhood trauma, if put in the right hands, can turn out to be a beautiful masterpiece that will help others who are impacted by similar events or spot on events from their childhood trauma. You could potentially be a vessel for healing because you've done the work, but only if you've done the work. Now that's the problem, where there's a lot of open positions when it comes to doing the work on our childhood trauma, because it's tough getting in there. The requirements for some to actually walk through that specific door, it requires a lot. You're asking someone to hit the root, to go back, to hold certain people accountable for why certain things happened. And some people just rather not be bothered with it. They just rather just not deal with it because they have numbed themselves through other vices to cope with the pain, the trauma. And your trauma, my trauma, those who acknowledge that there is trauma, is heavy. But it's not so heavy that it can't be carried by the one who's able to fix it. But you have to be willing to face it. Whatever age you were, whatever specific family dynamic that you were born into, however the environment is constructed, whatever the event was, the trauma was, it was real and it happened and it was not your fault. The cesspool of ingredients that created the trauma or traumas was not your fault. But it still has to be addressed. And we cannot hold on to it any longer because it is killing you. It is hindering you. It is stagnating your growth. It is stunting your ability to be resilient. And you, if you are a parent, you're passing it on to your children unbeknownst to you or beknownst to you. The very behaviors that were traumatic to you have now become a part of your mannerisms. And sometimes you catch a whiff of your mother, your father, your grandmother, or whoever the character was that created the traumatic situation for you. And here you are, and you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. You are in a situation where it's just like, I want to stop, but I can't stop. And it's impacting your children. A lot of times we pass on these thought processes, these traditions, these mannerisms, these mechanisms and mentalities on how to raise children, and they are so toxic, and we are affected by it. The childhood trauma of verbal abuse is real. And many people, many shades of brown people are walking around with these voices in their head about hearing over and over again what was said to them. Whether it was from a mother, a father, or from someone at school, childhood trauma not only occurs in the home, it occurs in school, it occurs walking home, it occurs riding the bus, it occurs trying to just navigate through your childhood. It occurs in various forms of verbal abuse, bullying, emotional abuse, magic, spells, create childhood trauma. And hearing the words that you heard as a young human were devastating to you. They were traumatic, yet and still, you can still have power over that. You don't have to succumb any longer to those traumas of verbal abuse. because either you are an abuser now, or you are numb to the pain and you accept abuse from so many people. The trauma that we have faced left open this portal for us to be the victim, open to receiving these type of toxic behaviors in the environments that we navigate in. They can feel the energy of the traumatic events that are plaguing you, and you project them whether you know it or not. It's an energy, okay? And you're sent into the world with this energy, and then you attract the same type of low vibrating behaviors. And those low vibrating behaviors are so mean, they plague you, and they can dictate your own actions and thought process about yourself. Your entire blueprint, the entire way that you were shaped and formed, and what the Most High thinks about you, is now being polluted and diluted with all of this word magic through the form of verbal abuse, which creates has created childhood trauma in you. And you're suffering. You believe it. And the devil is a liar. Feeling as if you can't get a hold of what has a hold of you. And that's a lie. That is a lie. The Most High God is a wonderful counselor. And running from your childhood trauma is only making matters worse in your daily living, your daily interactions with your spouse, whatever relationship you're in, your fellowships, your community, your children, if you have any, and with yourself, most and foremost, and in your relationship with the Most High God, because He sees you struggling. He knows what it is. He knows what it is. So as you sit here and you struggle, and it is eating you alive because you don't want to identify, you'd rather keep running, you'd rather not heal from it, but you want to be an energy that other people have to be around. So you have to do the work. The problem with the work is it's going to cause some of you to have to part ways with the very people who you love regardless, who you have history with. But in order for you to heal, you're going to have to cut it loose. They're going to have to see the back of your heels. Sometimes you can cut them loose publicly or privately. Either way, they have to go, because you have got to clear out the energy. And yes, there will be opposition. However, when you decide that this is it, the angels assisting the Most High God, everything will be orchestrated. You'll be set free. But let's get into this. What is it that you need to identify right now that you have experienced in your childhood that is terrorizing you? Who did it? Write their names down. Go get a pen and a piece of paper. We're going to do it old school. I know a lot of you all like to get into that. I have a note application on my phone. Look, check this out. Write it down. Write it down. I'm serious right now. Go get a pen and a piece of paper. And I want you to write down in private. This is yours, okay? So make sure you're in a safe place, because you might be still living with the person, human, if I can address them as that. Now let me not be petty. You might still be in the environment with this person. Write down the name or names of the people, and it has to be in spirit and in truth, who have contributed to your childhood trauma. If you're driving and you're listening to this, make that mental list. Now it's going to get a little deeper. First and foremost, the Lord knows what they did. All knowing, all seeing. Second thing is, some memories you have blocked out. They've been blocked out. Some things have occurred to you that you have no idea that they even happened to you. We praise God for that, but we still have to do the clearing because the energy is still there, but you have subdued it. It has been subdued. It's a blank space. Something happened. You just can't put your finger on it. But we still going to clear that energy. And so then what we'll do for that is you'll write down other, for those unknown things that occurred to you that have been blocked out, but they're still buried in your subconscious. But we're going to get it out. We're going to do the clearing to get it out. Okay? Now that you've written down those names and you have other, you're going to take the time, once we finish this episode, once you finish listening to this episode, and you're going to go into your meditation closet, your prayer closet, and you're going to present these offenses that occurred in your childhood that have caused you trauma, that have hindered you, stopped you from moving, stagnated you, pained you, ailed you, really just impacted how you maneuver with people, with your livelihood. I want you to go before the Most High God. Now, I mean this in genuine prayer and presentation about these traumatic events. First of all, as I told you, he already knows. But you've got to take it to him. You're going to cry. You're going to be, your emotions are going to have their way. But you're in a safe place. That is the safest place you can be when you are needing healing. Because the people who caused you the trauma, he created them too. He knows what to do. It takes only one to be able to break several chains of generational bondage, curse, toxic behaviors that plague a lineage. It only takes one. Through the healing and the clearing. Through the enough is enough season. Through the slingshot season. Through the no weapon formed against me shall prosper ever lifestyle and mentality. In your meditation, you're going to present these offenses. And you're going to get direction. You're going to receive downloads, intel, wisdom, strategy on how to break the chains. You're going to receive what you need in order for you to clear the energies that plague you and keep you 5 when you're really 50, that keep you 7 when you're really 28, that keep you 2 when you're really 48, that keep you 5 when you're really 83, stuck, bound in that moment, in that time, yet while time is still moving forward, while energy is still having its way, and you have been vibrating low, and you have been vibrating in your childhood trauma. It's time. You're going to receive the manual. You're going to receive what you need in order to fight those spirits, those principalities. You're going to find out some things that are going to elevate you. This is for the chosen. This episode. This is for the chosen. This is for the ones who've been set apart. This is for the ones who have a assignment to do. And your assignment is a lifelong assignment with tasks and duties that dwell within. This is a part of your assignment. You're listening to this because you're getting ready to change. Okay? You're getting ready to manifest. You're getting ready to come into fruition to who you were created to be. These things that have been plaguing you from the time that the trauma occurred are getting ready to have no stronghold on you anymore. You're getting ready to dominate what has been dominating you this entire time because you want to do the work, because you recognize that over and over again, I keep coming to the same place and I keep kicking myself because I didn't speak out when I should have, because I didn't reach out and say stop when I needed to, because I did not stand in my power when I needed to, because fear wrestled me to the ground and had me pinned down for the 1, 2, 3 count, because I didn't have a support system that was intact to fortify and protect me from the wolves, from the lions, from the bears, from the Goliaths. So here I am. It's time to do the work. It is time to take back your power righteously and use it for righteousness. But you can no longer operate in this manner because it's killing you spiritually and physically. It's killing you spiritually and physically. Brothers and sisters, you are listening to The Upgrade, where we cover all aspects of wellness for all shades of brown people. We will be right back after these commercial breaks. Thank you for being a wonderful listening audience.
No weapon formed against you shall prosper. This is Sister Speak with a word of encouragement. No matter what the enemy or enemies try to do to you, God will cause their plans to take no effect, and the pit that they dig for you, they shall fall in. If God be for you, who can be against you? Now say it with me. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Be encouraged.
Are you being scapegoated on your job or in your family? Are you being gaslighted? Are you the victim of narcissistic behaviors and attacks? Are you looking for solutions for all the pollutions that are plaguing your life right now? Is something off and you just can't put your finger on it? Well, guess what? We've got you covered on the Vent Session, a new segment on the Sister Speak show, rated R for strong language and content. Episode 1, Fret Not is available on demand now. In this episode, we're covering fireworks, holidays, witchcraft, and defeating your enemies. And we've only just begun. You'll enjoy this specific episode because it keeps you on your toes, and I keep it 100. There's nothing like somebody being able to give you some advice because they have gone through it themselves. On the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Be encouraged and click the link for the episode. Welcome back. You are listening to The Upgrade on the Sister Speak Show. I am your host, Sister Speak. How are you feeling? You okay? You still hanging in there? Good, good. I'm glad because we care. I care. I don't want you to perish knowing that I have some wisdom to share with you, and there are others who have wisdom to share with you that are doing the clearing and the cleansing and the cultivating because they don't want to vibrate low anymore, and they're no longer going to be bound by the generational curses that have occurred from childhood trauma. Okay? Well, one of the reasons why childhood trauma has occurred because of generational curses, okay? So, this is important. As you get ready to do your clearing and you're in your meditation and you're going to be going through your emotions and you're going to be discovering things and you're going to get the wisdom that you need in order to go forth and take down Goliath and his brothers, everything is going to change about you. But you're going to have to be willing to let people go. And that's where the clearing and the cleansing just stops. Because you allow the emotions to come in and they override your wisdom. And you don't have the ability to cut off the very people who you need to cut off in order for you to navigate, prosper, and run on and carry on with your assignment and to heal. You'd rather not heal because you don't want to make mama mad. You'd rather not heal because you don't want to step on your daddy's toes. You'd rather not heal because you're afraid of confronting your family member who touched you and molested you and is continuing to molest and touch other people within the family. You don't want to step on their toes, but they have crossed all of your boundaries, dominated you, violated you, manipulate you, gaslight you, and project toxic behaviors onto you without any type of, they don't even give it one thought. They just do it. And you're going to compensate them and be the hospitality committee for them. And you're going to usher in for them all of their foul behavior and not protect yourself. Where do they do that at? They don't care about crossing your boundaries. But you still open up the door and say, hey, walk all over me. As long as you don't address the childhood trauma, people will treat you as if you're the very age that the trauma occurred. Because it's just easier to then manipulate you. They don't want to deal with the adult you. And as long as the adult you still carries that energy every time you go around them that they have been able to feed off of and drain and vampirize off of, you're never going to win. That's how they get their energy. Some of you need to stop coming around. Oh, that's my mama. I love her anyway. No, that's my mama though. Look, I understand the sentiments, but I'm speaking about your spiritual life being at stake. I'm talking about you're vibrating low and your childhood trauma is eating you alive, and you want to sit here and talk about that's my mama. Your mama needs therapy too. Your mama needs healing too. Your mama is traumatized too. Your mama is operating from a low vibration and she is a predator too. Your mother is toxic too. I don't have an emotional attachment to your mother, so I can speak like this and not care how you feel, because speaking of not caring how you feel, that's how she's been operating. Because I don't care how you feel about an attachment to someone who doesn't mean you any good. No, we're not going to do the Stockholm Syndrome over here. And not at all. No lily pads. We're going to get right into it. Your childhood trauma needs to be identified, and you need to heal from it, because you are a horrible husband right now. Everything that you saw from your childhood is eating you alive because you haven't done the work. And you are a stench in your home. You're a stench to your wife. You're a stench you're a stench to your children. You're even a stench to your pets. Your dog doesn't even like you. You are a stench to the neighbors. You're a stench you might not be a stench necessarily in public because you might be trying to keep that face. But as soon as that garage door opens, everybody goes, damn, I'm just being real. The anxiety, the eggshells that people have to walk on because you have not dealt with your childhood trauma, and you are a tyrant in your home to everybody because the childhood trauma is eating you alive because of how you were treated by your father, whether he was in the home or not, how you were treated by your mother. You could have very well been abused, and it is eating you alive. And because you would rather listen to society and let society be your counselor, let society be your therapist, and tell you that you're not supposed to cry, tell you that you're not supposed to do the healing work, to tell you that you're supposed to be barbaric, to tell you that you're supposed to be a cannibal in nature, to tell you that you're supposed to be ruthless in your vibrations, and that's the way that you're supposed to operate. Rule with an iron fist, rule with no wisdom, be belligerent, be toxic, be overbearing, cross boundaries, withhold love, neglect, abandon, cheat, be disrespectful, be a minister in the streets and a monster in the home. Teaches you to put on multiple faces. That's who you're listening to. Now you tell me anywhere in what you heard me say is conducive to vibrating high and serves a greater purpose for you in your life right now. And tell me, how have you benefited from acting like that? I'm going to let the cicadas in the background be the crickets today. You tell yourself, how has it been going for you lately with your blood pressure being high? With the nightmares that you have, with the lack of sleep that you're getting, with the malnutrition that you're facing, even though I eat real good. Tell me, how does it feel when your children don't even want to be around you, when you have to beg them to come and give you a hug? Tell me, how does it feel tell me, what are your children experiencing when they have to hear you and mommy fight because you're just reenacting what you grew up with? Tell me, what are your children experiencing when they have to see you all physically fighting? Tell me, what are they experiencing when they have to hear what you heard as a child being repeated to them? Just think about it. Destruction. That is destruction. That is not how you're supposed to vibrate, and your childhood trauma is killing you because you won't identify it and you will not heal from it. But it punks you every day. It kicks you every day up the butt. It manipulates you every day. It pimps you every day. It has you on a string every day. It uses you as a ventriloquist every day. I mean, just think about the time wasted not healing. You hang around a group of men who are also traumatized, and they don't want to do the clearing work. They think it's okay to climb tall buildings and kidnap women and beat on their chest. They think it's okay to be King Kong. They think it's okay to be Jurassic Park. They think it's okay to be cavemen. They think it's okay to literally be barbaric and smile in front of their spouses' faces, throw their children in the air and help them ride a bike and play a little bit of basketball. But when as soon as they leave the home, You are a menace to society because you have not done the work and because Papa was a Rolling Stone. Here comes Junior acting like a boulder. Acting all out of whack because you are being plagued by your childhood trauma. You're having babies all over the place. You have sex addictions because of what has happened to you as a child. You have got to confront the person who abused you. You have to, and I'm not saying, and I need you to hear me. I'm not saying kill them at all. I am not saying any type of violent action towards the predator, because the Most High God is able to bring towers into their life, and they're not doing well. Some of them have died on their own. Some of them have already met a tragic end, period. In some way, shape, or form, whether it be literally dead, whether it be a spiritual as well as a physical judgment on them. They're in jail. They touched the wrong human, and now as a result of that, they've been outed. Trust and believe the Most High God has it under control. He has it under control. But you still need to go ahead and liberate yourself. And the only way that you're going to be able to do this, you're going to have to come out of that domination spell, that domination magic, that fear, that paralyzing spirit that keeps you and your throat chakras are blocked. So now you can't even open your mouth and say, help, help, help. Somebody help me. And I have to say this. I'm channeling my energy because I have to make sure that I don't pop all the way off. For you individuals in the village, you mothers, you fathers, you sisters, you brothers, you sisters and you brothers, you aunts, you uncles, you cousins, you pastors, you neighbors, but you family members that have the freaking audacity to protect the child molester, the child rapist, the child predator, who has the noun of uncle, who is described as uncle, aunt, cousin, family friend, stepdaddy, daddy, mama, whatever the title is. For those of you who protect these people, and when your child, no matter what age they come to you, no matter how the message of truth is presented to you via spoken word or letter, and they tell you that they have been violated, they tell you they have been harmed sexually, they tell you they have been physically abused, they tell you they've been raped, they tell you that their private part was touched, and you tell them without doing your due diligence and your proper investigations, and without you upholding the law in the spirit and doing a full investigation and protecting your child. Without you doing those things, if you don't do those things, And if you actually sit there and you tell that child that they are lying and you shun them and you side with the molester, the rapist, the abuser, the predator, you have several towers that are coming into your life. They've already hit and they're going to keep on hitting. How dare you? Shame on you. You're worthless in your actions. What purpose do you serve on this earth? How dare you not protect your child? How dare you not protect your children? How dare you keep subjecting your children to these very people who are nasty, vile, and disgusting, who haven't done the clearing work themselves, who keep repeating the same mannerisms of abuse, and they have now abused your children, and you tell your children that they are lying. Only thing that you're doing is keeping the impact and the brutality of that abuse. You keep it going. You teach them that there is no trust, there is no safety, there is no village, there is no code of conduct for righteousness. You teach them that low vibrating wins and high vibrations don't. That's what you teach them. You hinder your own from getting the help they need. You're not from the Wisha B. Wood tribe. You're not from the Wisha Wood tribe. No, not you. No, I wish somebody would try my kid. Nah, not you. You ain't from the bout it generation. You're not from the Hedge of Protection Foundation. Nothing in you says, I don't want this curse to keep going. How dare you not listen? How dare you not believe them? You're wounded yourself, and you need help too. Because if your child needs help, you need help. If this is the energy that's manifesting. Some of you don't want to break the bond. And it's a trauma bond. It is a bond based on trauma. You don't want to sit down and talk to somebody. You'd rather run. You don't want to do the work, but the work is doing you. Some of you are being forced to deal with it because it happened to your child and you said no more. Some of you are standing up in your power. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to the ones who say, not my home, not this generation, not this bloodline, no more. Some of you have stood up in your power. Congratulations. Kudos. Fist bump. Hugs. Keep going, brother. Keep going, sister. Keep on keeping on. Some of you have said, I have identified my childhood trauma. Some of you have said, I am healing from my childhood trauma. Be it grande, be it un poquito. Be it big or small. You're doing the work. You have sought out and found that there are free resources to help you. You have said, I'm going to do the work. Some of you have discovered that there's actually some ability to use your health insurance to get the mental health that you need, the mental health that you need. Some of you have gone and you have online therapists. You know, you get to do the remote therapy. Some of you are actually reading and seeking out videos to help you heal. Different remedies for different folks, but the same objective is healing. Now hear me on this. There's no greater healer than the Most High God and His Son, Jesus the Christ. He heals all manner of anything. So he has to be the forefront of it all. You have to go to him. You have to present it to him. You have to say, Lord, I don't want this anymore. I don't want to be like this anymore. I can't do this anymore. Enough is enough of me. My me is affecting a lot of other people, and I got to come out of it. I've got to change. I'm tired of hurting so many people, and I'm tired of hurting myself, and I know I'm not pleasing you. I don't want to keep grieving your spirit with the shrapnel and the carnage that I'm hoarding inside of me. I can't keep driving and thinking, is this the day that I'm going to end it all because I was touched by my pastor as a child, and this is my first time actually saying it happened. Because when I went to summer camp, I was violated. Because when I went to college in my dorm, my roommate tried me. And you know why there aren't a lot of safe spaces? There are safe spaces now. But you know why in the physical domain, why there are not a lot of safe spaces? Because in these spaces where you would think there should be safety, there are humans with unhealed childhood trauma that occupy these places. Everywhere you look, no matter where you go, there is someone or someones who are being killed in the spirit by their childhood trauma. They will not let it go. Some people won't let it go. Don't want the resources to let it go. They are professional in being miserable. They are professional in being pitiful. They are professional in operating from a place of sympathy me. Feel bad for me. Woe is me. Did I ever tell you about the time? Yeah, you did. You did like 150 times you did. And you know, the first time you get it out, cool. Second or third time I'm rocking with you. But by the 100th time, look, check this out. You got to move away from that now. The impact and the sting is too much. You're going to pull the stinger out. The stinger's still in there. You got stung by a bee in 75 and it's still in there. And you need to pull the stinger out so you can stop talking about the bee sting. You got stung. And yeah, who doesn't forget a bee sting? But how often do you think about it? So when you move away from that and you pull out the stinger, now we're promoting healing on the inside because that thing is no longer on the inside, the stinger. So whatever stingers you have on the inside of you, it's time to remove them. We need to get these spiritual tweezers. We need to be able to extract, and we need to be able to suture those wounds so we can move on. But you know, every time a bee stings you, of course you do. It dies. So you mean to tell me you're going to let what is dead still live inside of you? It must stink. You know what rotting corpses smell like? I don't. But I know that the description of it is horrible. A stench like none other. So on the inside of you, does it smell like rotting corpse? Is it putrid? Is it a stench that you leave in the room because of the bodies that are piled up on the inside of you? And the bodies are represent the childhood trauma? We'll be right back after this commercial break. When it comes to being a rap lyricist, what sets you apart is your ability to be able to freestyle on demand. If you can't freestyle, you can't rap. The latest episode of the Tour on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now. In this episode, beatdowns versus bars, when freestyle battles turn violent. Rated R for strong content and language. On the tour, we cover all aspects of the music industry, focusing on musicians, managers, songwriters, producers, music groups, DJs, with exclusive music as well as concert reviews and IG Live concerts and interviews. On the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Go ahead. Welcome back to The Upgrade on the Sister Speak Show. I'm your host, Sister Speak. The song playing in the background is It Hurts by Mont Music. You can check him out on Instagram at Mont Music. And we know that it hurts. A lot of times that it does hurt, not being able to figure out why we're experiencing what we're experiencing, right? I just want to get this volume right for us. Okay, there we go. So I know this topic is heavy, but you can handle it because you're going to be all right. This is for those, like I said, who want to change, who know that your childhood trauma is eating you up. Now listen, our childhood trauma, if we don't identify it and heal with it, that's going to heavily impact the decisions that we make and the people that we end up with. Some of us are in relationships right now with people, and it's all based on not healing from your childhood trauma. The moment you heal from it, you're going to be like, wait, I'm not supposed to be here. This isn't for me. This is a teaching lesson about how my energy attracts what I have not cleared. And as long as I am vibrating low, I'm going to always attract karmic individuals. I'm going to always end up in karmic environments and situations because I am not doing the work. I haven't cleared. So you're going to end up attracting men who put their hands on women who are verbally abusive, even friends who are like that. Your environment is going to attract everything that's plaguing you on the inside. Period. That's what your environment is going to consume of. Those are going to be the characters. The script is always going to be the same because no one in the vicinity of you is doing the work. So as long as no one within your vicinity is doing the work, there are going to be the triggers are going to be high. The red flags are going to be high. The behaviors are going to be low. And it's only going to create situations where people end up on the news, end up on the first 48, end up on 48 hours, end up on Dateline, For My Man, Fatal Attraction. What else is out there? Various shows that document tragedies based on behaviors, and the root of a lot of it is childhood trauma, because as a child, seeing things that you should not see and experiencing things that you should not experience it's a hostile wake-up call, and it really does paralyze you. It freezes you, and it just really takes away from the liberty and the pursuit of just being a child and enjoying what children are supposed to enjoy without having to encounter and face these adult situations at a young age. Everybody needs to heal. You want to talk about, well, how do we stop, the molestations, and how do we stop this, and how do we stop this? Look, it's about doing the work. It's about doing the work. But as long as people are allowing society to be their God, as long as they're allowing society to tell you how you're supposed to be as a male, as a female, as a man, as a woman, as long as you are allowing other gods to be your God, as long as you are allowing other entities to stay attached to you, this is what it's going to be. You've got to do the work. We have to do the work. More people are now, of our people, all shades of brown people, are in therapy. They're doing the work. They say, you know what, I cannot keep doing this. I need help. My mind, everything is scattered. I'm all over the place. I need to be healthy. There are people who choose to be healthy and don't care what anybody says anymore. They're going to do the work. And another thing that is very important that I need to say, for those of you who are going to stay low vibrating and continue to engage in behaviors, activities, and do all of those things because you don't want to do the work, because you don't want to heal from when you were molested, because you don't want to heal from being raped as a child, because you don't want to heal from someone touching you inappropriately as a child, be it man on man, woman or woman, or opposite sex, because you don't want to come out of that. Stop trying to hinder other people from doing the work and trying to clear the energy and wanting to vibrate high and no longer wanting to be a part of that group. If somebody wants to leave, they have the right to leave. Excuse me, there are people who literally were operating and consider themselves to describe themselves as this type of sexual person who no longer identify like that anymore. Look, I don't do this anymore. I used to do that, but I've been healed because I got my energies balanced. I actually did the work. I confronted the person who touched me as a boy, and it felt good to stand in my power. And the Most High God literally is delivering me from the desire and the cravings and the addictions for the energy. You got to stop people who want to come out of that. People can be delivered from these energies, these behaviors, these thoughts, these actions, these traumas. And you don't have the right to stand in front of anybody who wants to heal, anybody who wants to be set free, anybody who wants to confront those who have hindered them and created childhood trauma for them. You don't have the right to stand in front of them and block their power. You don't have the power to dominate them. And if you do, a tower will come to you. And I say to you, whoa. You're not going to stop anybody from wanting to get on the Underground Railroad, go through the Underground Railroad and seek freedom. If they don't want to be a captive anymore, there's nothing you can do about it, because who the Lord sets free is free indeed. And who are you to pluck whoever he decides to set free out of his hands? You're playing with something that will have you decapitated both physically and spiritually. Keep playing around and get your whole birthright cut off, trying to play with somebody who wants to heal and break generational curses. And stop trying to hinder people from their assignments that they were put on this earth to do, because the Lord put them on this earth to do. But because you vibrate low and because you don't want to do the work, you want to stop them from healing because you're a whole mess and misery loves company. You don't want to play. You don't want to play with the Sister Speak show. You're not going to stop my people in the village. How dare you be in the village, okay, first off, and try to stop somebody from the village from wanting to make the village heal. Who are you? You need to get healed. And if you don't want to heal, you will be dealt with. You don't get to escape. You don't get to cross boundaries and create problems for people and think that you're not going to get away with it. You don't want to do the work. You want to be evil. You want to work for the devil. You want to be demonic. You want to play young children and take their innocence from them. Woe, and may every tower come to you day and night. You pedophiles are not going to escape. You child molesters, you verbal abusers, you're not going to escape. If you're not going to do the work, if you're not going to heal, you're going to be dealt with, because that curse will break. You can't stop the one who the Lord decides to set apart and empower and give the strength and the keys to the streets and all the downloads they need to combat all the principalities that have been plaguing the lineage generation after generation. You don't have the power or the authority to stop it. You better learn about what it means to be all powerful. You better learn what it means when the Lord sits high and looks low. You better understand what it means that his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. You better understand what it means that there are angels. I don't know who you think you are. I don't know what you think you stopping. Oh, now, and this is the attitude that comes. Oh, she thinks she too good now. Oh, he think he too good now. Oh, look at them acting brand new. Oh, look at, they think they all that because they went and got them a little bit of therapy. You nasty, low vibrating. You are centipede, millipede, worm, snake. We rebuke all that and return to sender. May there be a divine hedge of protection around every human, all shades of brown people who listen to this show, who are now deciding that they are going to identify and heal from their childhood trauma. May they be divinely protected as they walk out on faith, overcome fear, and become undominated by those principalities. May you be divinely protected as you clear and cleanse, and as you untie all of those cords and sever the cords that are around you that have been plaguing your whole life. May you stand in your power. May you be reaffirmed. May you be resuscitated, recharged, restored, recalibrated. May you set the captives free in the generations to come, because you are doing the work now. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. No devil, no demon, no goon, no goblin, no witch, no warlock, no voodoo priestess, no practitioner will be able to stop the power of God in your life, for your life. If God, come on now. If God be for you, who can be against you? That's a word of encouragement for you today. That is a word of empowerment for you today. I feel it in my spirit. I know that there are going to be many who are going to say this witchcraft, this voodoo, this black magic will no longer plague me. It is returned to sender. It is mirrored back into their bosom. It is reversed. I do banish it. I am clearing this demonic energy. I am protecting my chakras. I am doing the work to protect my solar plexus. I am doing the clearing. I am taking the spiritual baths. I am doing the spiritual showers. I am eating differently. I am fasting. I am having a high water intake. I enjoy fruit. I enjoy vegetables. I am doing the right thing to stand in my power and no longer have to try to figure out why I'm off. No longer have to plague and hurt anybody else, because I am taking back I am taking back from the enemy what he stole from me: my childhood, my joy, my abundance, my inheritance, my birthright, everything, my natural understanding of what sex is. Imagine, brothers and sisters, as you do the clearing and cleansing, your intimacy is going to be better with your spouse. Because now when you lay down, you're not traumatized by the sexual misdemeanors and felonies that manifested in your life as a child, because you're going to stop watching porn, because you're going to stop associating and putting negative terms with marriage and intimacy, and you're going to start associating good with good and bad with bad, and you're doing the work. Your intimacy is going to be purified. It won't be polluted, because you're identifying and healing, because you're not running from therapy, because you're seeking therapy, because you went online and you found a therapist that resonates with your spirit, because you're seeking the Most High God in spirit and truth, because you're not going to hoard these corpses, which we have described as your childhood traumas, anymore. You're going to clear, you're going to cleanse, you're going to cultivate, you're going to saturate your energy field with affirmations and scripture, and you're going to clear it and you're going to cleanse it with the blood of Jesus the Christ. Women, you've got to deal with your childhood trauma. The sexual abuse, the verbal abuse, not feeling safe, being exposed, Everything that you experience has shaped you into who you are at this very moment. Some of you want to do the work, some of you don't. Some of you are going to stay low, but others are getting ready to vibrate high. Some of you are already vibrating high because you've done the work. Congratulations, kudos, fist bump, hugs. Sis, keep going. Keep trailblazing. Keep breaking those chains. Your lineage is going to be blessed. To my sister right now, my sisters that are struggling. You're in the home with the person who created the trauma. You're living with an abuser right now. And he is just as traumatized as you are. That's how you all got together. And if you have sex and get pregnant, you're going to have traumatized children. Children going to have anxiety coming out the womb. Baby crying all day, all night. I don't know what's wrong with my baby. Trauma. It's the energy. And my baby they call it colic, but I call it trauma. I mean, colic is real, but understand trauma is real too. And it manifests into different afflictions. Come on, somebody. Get with it. Yes. Your baby is hollering so much because of the trauma and the energy. It can feel it. Your baby can feel it. You were traumatized when you were carrying your child. You had so many fights with your child's father. You had so many arguments with your mom, and all of that DNA and everything that has not been healed, that has not been addressed, that has not been cleared, is now being passed into the womb, and your child is coming out, and your baby just won't stop crying, and you don't know why. Somebody's got to cry. And if you don't deal with it, it's going to manifest through your child, so your child just won't stop crying. Because that's you. It's you on the inside, that energy transferred. You got to do the work, sis. You got to talk about it. You've got to, like I said in the beginning, that pen, that piece of paper, that pencil, and you need to write down everybody who offended you, sis, who traumatized you, who did it. Who did it, sis? And you write it down. You go into that prayer closet and you talk to the Most High God and you present it. And you allow him to provide with you the remedies that you need to run on, to fix it, to deal with it. Sis, right now, you're not a good mom. You're not a good friend. You're not a good sister. You're not a good anything. You're no good to yourself because you are wounded. Can you imagine in the spirit being lame and thinking it's okay when it is better to be maimed than lame? You're going to have to cut off that arm and that leg, sis. You're going to have to let it go. Yeah, you're going to have to cut off your arm and your leg. In the spirit, you're going to have to be maimed because it's killing you. It's got gangrene in the spirit. It doesn't operate. It's immobile. It's frozen. Sis, it's dead. It's dead and it serves you no purpose, and it stinks and it's rotting and there are flies all around it, and it's manifesting into your home. Not everybody, but some of you right now, your home is trash. It's filthy. It's not clean because you're wounded and you're traumatized. And it's coming out into the physical because you won't identify, because you won't heal. It's plaguing you. Now, if you want to identify and if you want to heal, you have to start now. It's not tomorrow. We're not going to do the stagnation. We're not going to do the procrastination. We're not going to do any of that. You got to do it now. As soon as this episode is over, you're going to do it now. You're going to steal away. You're going to get to a private place and you're going to deal with it. Now, some of you don't want to let go of the person that you're sleeping in the bed with, your boyfriend or whoever this man is in the bed with you, but he's abusive. Your kids, your children don't like him. He's got an energy that's not cool. He's got a track record that's not great. And if you don't end up clearing your energy, something tragic is going to happen in your home. And the tragedy could already be happening in your home. But you so caught up on this man that he's able to maneuver his way into your daughter's bedroom, into your son's bedroom at night. You trust him, so you leave him in the home, just like your mama did with you. And that's how it happened to you. Trusting these men to come into the home, and these men being traumatized, being predators. All this energy is just a cesspool for disasters. And that's how it ends up happening on the news, that a man ended up killing a woman and her daughter, molesting her daughter, convincing this woman to get rid of her children because they're not his. All the other manipulations and deceptions and all of the behaviors that occur because the childhood trauma is killing all shades of brown people. It's killing. You end up on the news because the childhood trauma is not being dealt with. Murder rate so high in the neighborhood. Young boys killing young boys, young men, young males killing young males, older males killing older males, all of it, childhood trauma, not being able to deal with conflict, not able to process trauma, seeing death at a young age, seeing extreme violence at a young age, seeing sex portrayed in a very demonic way at a young age, being molested at a young age, being hungry, neglected, abandoned, childhood trauma, leading to the violence in the community, the spirit. And because healing is shunned, education is shunned, positivity is shunned, joy is shunned, it is a cycle, a never-ending cycle of childhood trauma manifesting in violence. Even the people who report on the violence have childhood trauma. A never-ending cycle of it, because it's not cool to get therapy. It's not cool to sit down and talk to somebody about what you're going through. It's not cool to seek help. Says the devil. The devil does not want you to be emancipated. The devil does not want you to proclaim that the Lord sets free indeed. The devil does not want you to run on and tell somebody about how the Lord set you free. He doesn't want you to speak before children and set them free. Give them nuggets and jewels. The devil wants you to be foul, hurt, miserable, lonely, bitter, cantankerous, abrasive, calloused, demonic, because of the childhood trauma. Yeah, that's what it is. So if you're running from it, you don't want to identify from it, you're going to find ways to cope with it. It may be that you end up, because you never got Jordans, that now your child has every pair of Jordans ever. Childhood trauma because you couldn't get some J's. It's even just as simple as that. There are certain things that people are really traumatized from because they heard no more than they heard yes, or I don't have it, or we ain't got it, or it is what it is. Traumatized because their mom had to come to school, because their mom was on drugs. And their mom had to come to their school. Now everybody knows that their mom, has a drug addiction, and having to be bullied from it. That's traumatizing. That's why many parents don't ever know when back to school night is, and won't ever find out about parent-teacher conferences, because they don't want the cover to be blown that I come from this. This is what's going on in my home. They're embarrassed because you won't do the work and you won't clear, and so then you step outside with that stank energy, with that unhealed energy, that traumatized energy, and we're supposed to just deal with it. No, ma'am, no, sir. But that's why your children don't want to be around you. That is why some children run away. Some. That's the reason why some. Some children are traumatized because you put a man or a woman before your child. And I'm not speaking about forsaking your happiness. I'm not talking about you literally shit on your children. You literally defecate on your children. You literally don't give two F's about your children. You literally just don't care because all you care about is some penis. Sis, you traumatized. As long as you got a warm body sleeping in the bed next to you. That's all that matters. As long as you got you a man. That's all that matters. You're traumatized because your mama kept a man. Never got not a husband, just a man. It's time to identify and heal from the childhood trauma, and it's time to run towards therapy. That's what it's about. And the people who are doing the work, the people who are getting the therapy, getting the healing, the testimonies are great. The impact is amazing. The healing and the clearing that people are doing, getting their balance, their energies balanced, identifying that there's been spell work done on them, voodoo, black magic, that they have been violated. They are actually hitting home on the real. I mean, no matter how much it may hurt, they're dealing with it because they need to run on and because they have a purpose to serve and they're tired of dying on the inside. And so they said, I'm going to steal away. I'm going to go take a trip. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to block. I'm going to get rid of this amount of people. I'm going to stop going to this place. I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to change my life because faith without works is dead. So you do have to do the works. You can't have faith that you're going to heal without doing the works. And if you don't do the works, then I have to question what type of faith do you have and who is your faith in? I don't want to do the clearing. I don't want to do the cleansing. I want to stay low vibrating and toxic. It's safe here. It's not. You're in the danger zone. You are in the danger zone and you breathe in lava every day. You eat lava. You drink lava. You are in the danger zone. You are a walking volcano. You erupt whenever you want to. You slaughter villages with your hot lava. You don't care about the toxins that you release in the air. You don't care about the black plume of smoke that permeates the atmosphere. You don't care about the fact that not only that, you mess up the water when you explode with your lava. People have to run for the hills. But don't run for the hills because that's where the volcano is. They have to try to run for their life to get away from the volcano when it erupts. And nobody knows when you're going to erupt, but they know that you're going to erupt. And when you erupt, boy, oh boy, oh boy, everybody just has to deal with the outcome of the natural disaster. And pretty soon people are going to say, you know what? I don't want to live by this volcano anymore. I actually think that it's time that we move. I think it's time that I move. I don't know. Every time this volcano erupts, there's more death, devastation, desolation. And pretty soon, this very place right here will be no more to look like Sodom and Gomorrah. So it's just time to move because I don't want to be around this volcano. Now it's just going to be you around you. And that can be eye-opening and jaw-dropping, and it could be a breath of fresh air for the other people who decide to escape. They don't have to deal with that. They don't have to do it. And you know what? The moment they got away from you, life got better. And I'm just saying, sis, bruh, it shouldn't be like that. It should be that now, you know, that last eruption should have been the last one. Get the help that you need. You need help. It shouldn't just come in the form of pills. It shouldn't be, oh, you have schizophrenia. Oh, you're bipolar. Oh, you this. Oh, you that. No, we need to get to the root of this. What happened as a child that led to this? Because there is a spiritual remedy for this, to where you won't need that medication, where you won't need to have to be declared 5150, where you won't need to have to be set apart and looked at as if you are a leper. Okay? You got to get the help. Getting the help is going to set you free. You don't have to keep running. Deal with it.
Get down and dirty with it. You're already low as it is. So while you're low, while you're sitting, deal with it. And you better be prepared to write some eulogies. There's going to be some obituaries, literally and physically, literally and spiritually. Get ready for your surroundings to change. Get ready for people to fall off. Get ready for there to be a total wipeout of everything that you remember, people that you remember, things that you remember, because you're getting ready to vibrate high. Congratulations in advance, fist bump in advance to you. Because you want to clear the childhood trauma. Identify. Heal. Stop running. Go towards therapy. And be honest when you get there. Be honest. Be clear. Be truthful. Don't add, don't take away. Just keep it 100. You don't have to tell people you're going to therapy. They gonna notice a change. And don't tell people. That's your secret. That's your thing. Because the moment that the energies catch wind that you're getting ready to escape, they're going to try to do everything they can to try to stop you. They're going to downplay that thing. They're going to try to talk you out of it. Then they even try to do some spell work to stagnate you, make you not want to go. Anything, because some of them have contributed to your childhood trauma. And if anything that you have suppressed comes to the forefront, they know that they might be in trouble. Keep that to yourself and come out vigilant. Come out a warrior. Come out on top. Come out a soldier. Come out on the front line, blazing on everything. Okay, maybe not that. Okay, take a slingshot. This is an upgrade. You want to keep it peaceful. Don't bring a machine gun to the forest. Have a slingshot with you, okay? But you're coming out really like, not anymore. Not anymore. You're not going to be able to dominate me anymore. I'm not walking on eggshells anymore. You're not crossing any boundaries anymore. You will never put your hands on me again. How dare you ever touch me? And this is what's going to happen with your enemies now, that because a lot of the people who have created childhood trauma for you are your enemies. What's going to happen is they're going to try to call you crazy. We don't care about that. They're crazy. They're crazy. Don't even worry about that. Don't even address that. Okay? They're going to try to say that you're losing your mind. They're going to try to say all this stuff. And those are all lies from the enemy, because they know that their time is up and the tower is coming. Judgment is coming. Justice is coming. Vengeance is coming. Vindication is coming. The truth is being exposed. Your power is coming back. Because you're dealing with your childhood trauma, be it bullying, be it sexual assault, neglect, abandonment, poverty, by choice, which means, withholding, whether it be blended families, whether it be going through the foster care system, whether it be surviving from sex trafficking, whether it be being exploited, whether it be being exposed to sexual content, all of these things, these entities, these principalities, no matter what it is, I'm telling you today, without a shadow of a doubt, that you have the ability to overcome if you have been chosen. If you've been set apart. If you're his child, his son, his daughter, yes, indeed. Aren't we all? Listen, no, we're not. We are not all sons and daughters of the Most High God. I don't know who your spiritual guide is. I don't know what you've been reading. I don't know where you've been living. The devil has children, sons and daughters, and the Most High God has sons and daughters, and you can tell the difference between the two. So we're not going to play that game. We're all this. This isn't the show for you, lily pad. I'm telling you that right now. Now, I know this is a show about peace, tranquility, and harmony, but I just have to let the people who think that they can, say these type of things. No, you can't say these things. You're going to have to go listen to another show.
We're going to go listen to another show. Because you living in that world is the reason why you will always stay in your childhood trauma zone. Because that's what you think. You give the benefit of the doubt where you need to have a sword. Okay, get into it. We are soldiers. We are soldiers. We have to fight, although we have to fight. We have to hold up the bloodstained banner. We are soldiers. We are soldiers. You have to say that. We are soldiers. You will no longer be dominated by your childhood trauma because you're going to identify, you're going to heal, you're going to stop running, and you're going to go towards therapy because for the people who have already gone, all shades of brown people within the village, it is impacting their lives. It has changed their lives. They are free. They are emancipated. They are liberated. They have joy. The generational curses have been broken. The magic has been broken. The spells, the voodoo. Their children are healthier. The energy has changed in the home. Sun shines through the home now. Darkness does not permeate the home. There's no dark clouds that follow them. There's no pestilence. There's no entities, principalities that navigate and suggest through manipulation and deception on how to live, how to breathe, how to vibrate. No, high vibrations now manifest in the home. High thoughts, peace and glory and tranquility and harmony, righteous prayer, righteous thoughts, righteous deeds, righteous actions, forgiveness, a united front, a hedge of protection, divinely protected. Yes, that is the confirmation. That is the affirmation. That is what rules your home, your apartment, your life, your soul. That is what happens when you do the clearing. That's what happens when you do the clearing, the cleansing, the cultivating. You will never be dominated by your childhood trauma again. You will address it. You will conquer it. You will behead every giant. You will take a smooth stone in your slingshot and it will land right in between the eyes of every Goliath in your life. All the bears, all the lions are no match. No matter your height, no matter your age, whoever you are listening to this specific episode today, power be unto you. And congratulations to those who don't want to do the work, who will never change, to those who are deciding today that they will stay wounded, that they will allow their childhood trauma to be their God, to manipulate, to plague, and to affect other people. Sorry you feel that way. And that's on you. It could have been different, but you will never know. Peace and blessings to you all. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. The Lord has lifted me out of a horrible pit. He inclined his ear unto me. We are divinely protected. We return to sender all negative energy, all demonic energy, all witchcraft, all voodoo, all spells. We return to sender. We reverse it. We banish the energy. We mirror it right back to all karmics. We are divinely protected by the blood of Jesus the Christ. I am divinely protected, and so are my listeners. Until we speak again, be encouraged.